Well, we'll just have the audio.
Well, I'm gonna try to. Can you do the thing?
You got a new job?
Yes.
So what are you doing?
Child practice.
Oh, you're working for the health department here?
Over in Albemarle.
Oh, okay.
Which is my.
This is like,
Coming all the way to Charlottesville, but
Yeah, be careful.
yeah, yeah.
I mean, don't break your neck.
It wasn't too bad. Like the twins actually.
Well, this is for the whole house,
Which was really.
so we get, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the.
Yeah,
Yeah.
my granddaughter.
I don't
lives in
see.
Charlotte.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, she lives over near.
I don't know. See now.
Oh, yeah, okay. That's the, the county officer.
About a mile from Six.
Well, he's at the station, like where wetlands is and everything. Oh, okay, yeah, that's my house too.
She's lakeside.
Been so long since I've had to met.
well, they.
Okay, cool. Very cool.
Yeah, it's a nice little area.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's almost like, you know, it's on the outskirts of that, but she's not.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because that would be crazy. Sure, like.
Say we
Tons of traffic.
Wording for this one.
Bad, and she said, I can't go up that much because if I see the light on, donuts. On Christmas.
Yeah. My
But
goodness.
you see that light is.
Yeah, mine will be up there.
That's where it goes far.
Like, get rid of.
Howdy.
So we were just gonna.
Never worked, right,
You know, friends, and, you know, like neighbors and all that.
Let me know. Start.
Having the middle be the county. Right.
I've got this going, so I just need to,
Like a camera.
Figure out how you
just
do
don't wanna stand here and hold it all.
If I had duct tape.
What if you leaned it up against your water bottle? Do you think that'll get enough? For something on that corner? Do you think that'd get enough?
Then I had it back to the night work.
It's the.
No, this is okay. Unfortunately.
Well, we take it on in the back of the chair.
Being creative.
Yeah, there was. The old things.
You sure you live in the city?
Well, it's recording the audio.
Okay, well, we'll have to go with that.
Work, the last one was half audio anyway.
You want tape to try to.
I do. Do you have any tape?
On my desk.
Tape.
High tech here.
Actually. Probably undone.
You go ahead and speaking.
Or.
Yeah.
Like a.
Yeah, I was over in Tennessee, I went over to Knoxville, like childhood. Give up my
That's great.
I think we get to see each other every like. Like the little planet,
That's good.
but yeah, it was, I was bummed that I missed the carnival. And the.
Oh, I'm not bummed about missing the carnival. I hate it for that Milwaukee Park. I like it at the fairgrounds. If y'all ever been to the fairgrounds, that's where they used to have it. And it's so. And it's not, it's handicap friendly there where it's walking park. It's not,
That's tough.
but you know, I thought,
Yeah.
when I used to work every day, it's.
I'm going after. Hybrid.
This was the third year at Walton Park. and I hated it. I mean, down there, I just hate it down there.
Okay.
And they have a perfectly good football spot, about their lot, everything. They got a mixture of two.
And it's got a.
Yeah.
Like.
It doesn't make sense.
Or,
Oh, no, it's the
No.
farmers. It belongs to the farmers.
oh, they both do.
Yeah.
Okay. I knew that Walton did. I.
Yeah, that's that.
Okay.
Jackson.
I almost want to take a picture.
Yeah. Okay, I'll call the town council meeting to order, again. Roll call indicates that all the members are here. You have the agenda before you. Are there any additions? Corrections?
When we talked about the US.
Yes, we'll be talking about that. Yeah. So, okay, if no one has one, I'll entertain a motion.
So made.
I can second that. And COVID? Yes, no?
Yes.
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 Yes,
Okay, thank you. A public hearing, tab.
can I say something before we get started?
Go ahead.
We're a little league town. And I would like to tell you about our girls. We had 2 girls softball teams, junior and major, that just went to the state tournament. They lost out, unfortunately, so then our major league boys are going to the state tournament Friday. So that's a big accomplishment and we are a little league town, even though the paper does not tell us that we are a little league town, little league county. It's been little league for years and years and years. It's been a big part of our lives. So this is something that's great. So since nobody will pick it up, maybe you can suggest to the paper, I will call them tomorrow, that they can.
Okay,
Can we put something on the sign wishing them good luck?
The girls are finished. They lost out this morning, but
Does
the
the
boys will
boys?
go Friday.
Still put it up there, great job, girls.
Yeah, great job, girls. Good luck, boys. Something like that.
and the only other thing that I want to say is, yesterday, there was an unfortunate incident. And one of there are actually 2 firefighters that got injured. One of them's in the intensive care unit. I guess she's been on the fire department about 6 months, so I would ask you to keep her and her family in the prayers. My understanding is she's at least responding, but she's pretty broken up. And so she's going to have a long recovery time. So anyways, I just wanted to let you know that if you didn't know that. So with that, I'm going to open up the public hearing and.
We're gonna pledge.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea. Thank you. Let's have the pledge of allegiance, right? I pledge allegiance to the flag. And to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. On the public hearing, we have 5 items on the public hearing. So what I'm going to do is go to the first one, open up the public hearing. If anybody in the public wants to speak on that particular item, you can come forward, give your name and where you're from. Then if we have no more speakers and nobody decides, I'll close it and then we'll go to number 2 and 3, 5. So number 1, public hearing on increasing the meals tax from 5% to 6% and the elimination of the dedication of meals tax to the water and sewer. Is there anybody from the public that would like to come forward and speak about that particular item? Not seeing anybody, I will go ahead and close the public hearing for item number 1. Item number 2, a decrease in the real estate taxes from 22 cents per $100 of assessed value to 20 cents per $100 of assessed value. I'm going to go ahead and open up the public hearing. If there's anybody that wants to speak on that particular item, you can come forward. I'm not seeing any, so I'll go ahead and close the public hearing for item number 2. Item number 3, closing an unopened right of way from St. Cecilia Avenue between East First and East Second Street. I'm gonna open up the public hearing. Is there anybody that wants to speak on item number 3?
Hey, so I'm not sure.
Just come forward.
Yeah, I'm gonna come forward and,
Give your name.
but I'm gonna be clear which of 3 and 4. I'm getting my- Are they both the same?
One is opening and closing, and then one will be, yeah, it depends on number 3, whether that passes.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's why I didn't know which one.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm Paul Stewart Cameron Jr. My father, Paul Cameron, I was the owner of the property there. It's a house right beside the water tower, so Dad owns a lot. It's located, I believe, at Louisville Avenue. And so I just got a call the other day about potential for closing this road. I know this has come up before. Mom and Dad were here, it's been several years ago, and it was Dad's wishes or his statement at the time not to close the road. Not to close the St. Cecilia, that would give him access for both front and rear access to his property. And also that road would go right behind the water tower. So certainly the town has a big stake in that as well, and doesn't seem like the right thing to me to do for access in case you need to get around with cranes or whatever in some future repair. So anyway, I'm here to speak on my parents' behalf. My mother's still living, she's in the nursing home in Louisa, so she's now the owner of the property since my dad is deceased. So I am here to speak on both of their behalf. I am the power of attorney for Mom and the executive for Dad, so I think I have the right paperwork to say their piece. So as far as the Cameron family, we do not wish or do not want to close that St. Cecilia, however it goes through 3 or 4.
Right.
So we will certainly have access to the property from both sides, the present Louisa and then future from behind.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Anybody else want to speak?
Speaking as a council member, but as a landowner, I'm Michelle Covert, and I'm the one who asked for this time and last time, and there's several reasons I've asked for it. One is that I have a home, my home was built in 1910, and at that time they built properties and buildings edge to edge, you know, on the property. So my street side, I have egress of 1 foot 3 inches, and on the back I have, you know, 11 feet and whatnot. So that leaves me with, for example, a small driveway and a backyard that's non-existent. But I have this, I'm gonna say, neglected piece of property behind me that was never developed. And you know, I would like to be able to use it and basically there is a tree that's there. There's several things. One is there's a tree that's there, it's about a 40-foot pine tree, and it's 4 feet in diameter. It probably cost $4,000 to $5,000 to remove it. It's been dripping sap and needles and whatever on my car, because I have this tiny driveway, for 20 years, and I've been scraping it off, and I would like it removed. And I'm not gonna pay to remove it if it's not my land. But up until now, every time I've mentioned it to a town manager, they're like, well, the town's not gonna pay for that. So, you know, that's something, you know, that it's been damaging my vehicles for a minute. And then there's a cluster of trees that have the damaging, it's not ivy, but it's a vines. And they have infested it, and they are now infesting my land that's on the other side of this piece of property that may have been St. Cecilia if it had been developed. So it's infesting my land and it's not cared for. And I guess my big thing is that piece of land is not cared for. There is a burn pile that's been sitting in the middle of it for in excess of a year. It's things that were chopped up and put there and just left there. You know, it doesn't get mowed, it doesn't get taken care of. And, you know, I do take care of the part behind me, and I mow behind the water tower and all that, but this whole block is a slope, and there's erosion, and nobody's taking care of the erosion, which it mostly happens in the middle. And, you know, I'm trying to do it on my land, but you have to really do landscaping, you have to plant, and so I'm just saying, you know, I would do that on my part, I would like to do that. Since it isn't being used, I've been there 20 years, there's been no development or any improvement on any lot in the block, and I have talked to all the other, you know, including Stuart, and Stuart, you know, is saying no, but I've talked to everyone else except Mr. Loudon, who owns 4, he does have access from Frederick's Hall Road. And at both times he hasn't come to these meetings. And then, let's see. What else do they have? And those are the, you know, the big things for me, and, you know, as far as like wanting to, they have, all of us, because we're built on the corners, all of us have access from 2 roads. We have, you know, access, because we're on corners, we have access from 2 roads. His father, you know, had mentioned on the last one that he wanted access from the 3rd road, which would be St. Cecilia, but if we closed it, half of that land would be divided and they would get half of St. Cecilia, so they could actually use that 30 feet as a driveway and not be required to develop the entire block end to end, and it would be substantially cheaper for him and Loudon if that happened. And so that may not be the choice, but that is a reality, that, you know, we do require people to develop the entire road end to end, and it can cost upwards of $100,000 to do that. So, you know, so that's why I'm asking. It's mostly because it's neglected and the town doesn't have the resources to care for these undeveloped pieces of land. And I'm willing to care for it. If, you know, we can't approve it, I would like to, you know, get some help with caring for it. But I am willing to do that, even if, you know, we could close, I don't know how we do this, and we can talk about it after it. Definitely, but those are my thoughts, back then and now, and. Thank you.
That's Mary, can I correct something?
Yes, please.
The roads are 50 foot, so each person gets 25.
I'm sorry, excuse me, I thought it
It's
no, it's 60, oh, well, okay, on my survey, it says 60. And that may have been an X, no,
When they close the street, it's 50 foot, everybody gets 25.
which is fine, and it may be my survey is an error, and I will check that, but. So I stand corrected, and so if you correct that, 50, I'm up to 50.
Okay.
So it has something to do.
Yes, sir, please,
So,
you can come up and
I'm sorry.
do a rebuttal or
Oh,
add some more
I have a
efficient-
question. So I don't know the process, so I'm just asking. So if the road wanted or the landowner, who makes the submittal, or what is the process for, let's say I wanted to open the road? And so there's,
So,
since it's a town established road, is the homeowner responsible or is the town?
yeah, unfortunately, it's homeowners.
Okay, so then how does it turn over to the state?
After you bring it to VDOT standards and VDOT looks at it and concurs that you did it within the VDOT standards, then the council is allowed a quarter of a mile to have it brought into the state system. And then that's how it happens, but it may not happen from the time that you put it in. It might be several years before that quarter mile and however many quarter miles make up that road before the whole thing gets in. And if you've driven around, you see, we still have some dirt roads that are actual roads that have never been brought in.
I didn't know the process, that's why I was asking. If we had-
Yeah, and so, you know, that's one of the, I guess the bad things is that the developer ends up having to part that as part of his or her equation as to how much it's going to cost to open up the road in addition to building the house. And if you were going to sell them, I'm sure some of that price would be in that.
So then is the land on for, let's just take our property.
Yeah.
So then if I wanted to open the road, I'm only responsible to open it to the our property corner.
Yeah, you have to do it end to end.
Well, you're supposed to do it.
Well, now, wait a minute, there's 3 owners, 4 owners, so I'm responsible for the whole cost.
It's usually the first person that's in. So if you look, if you talk to Mr. Loudon, he's a good example. He's put in several roads that he's done the whole road. I don't have any other examples because since I've been here, there have not, the only roads that are,
I don't know,
Yeah.
I'm just asking the question.
yeah. So,
But even though it's not extending beyond, so then if I pay for the whole thing, then it's my road, if the State Department does not take it over since I paid for it, I'm just asking. the
yeah,
question.
no,
Then
unfortunately,
how can anybody put boundaries on it if they didn't have any skin in the game? If you didn't financially put up anything, then how could you, or either be really rebuttal if I built the whole road?
this is one of the questions I asked back in 2001 when we had the big.
The fence up through there and the landowner's responsible for half payment of the fence by county court, by.
Yeah, unfortunately,
So.
the town, the road, is. The town owns it, but the town up to this point has never developed the roads.
Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah, no,
There you go, okay, well, still,
yeah,
And can I just say
okay,
for the,
so,
yeah.
alright, so if it doesn't have to meet, so does the town, does the town, if I'm building the road, then does the town have provisions or a statute that says I have to have so many feet wide?
We do, we actually have a statute that it has to be in accordance with VDOT standards for secondary roads. And that's why,
That spells out the culvert pipe, the side.
oh, it's ugly, yeah, that's why when she quoted 100,000, it might even be more than that.
Okay, so then the new development on the other side of the road, I think Mr. Dickerson.
Yes.
Those new houses.
Yeah.
Group, so
He's putting in all those roads,
and so that's coming all the way to the next road as well.
yeah,
So then you got Sanctuary City open all the way back to the Baptist church, this section maybe, and then the rest of it.
and then
is open.
4th Street going, or is it 4th or, yeah, it's 4th Street going to Richmond Avenue, yeah,
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 well, that's kind of,
yeah. Yeah,
so, and also, so Mr. Loudon is the other owner, correct? Of the property,
that's what she just said to
so
me.
Mr. Loudon is not here to speak for himself,
He
of
was
what his wishes are,
he was invited.
man.
Oh, I did invite him.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is he's not here to actually give you his report.
Right,
Okay.
and he didn't give us an email or anything,
Yeah, of his wishes.
yeah, we usually accept, somebody.
Just making sure everybody.
Yeah,
Yeah, and just, not say a rebuttal, it just, I think he just allowed him to. It would benefit him because he would be responsible, if he wanted to develop that. Well, see, he can come off of Fredericks Hall Road and he doesn't have to build the road. It's only if you want to use Saint Cecilia as a road, you have to build it from being on the planning commission. You have to build it end to end. If you want a driveway from, Fredericks Hall Road, like Mr. Loudon could have, he wouldn't have to develop the entire road, so it's not worthwhile for him to go out the road, and, I'm wondering if it's, it's true for, Mr. Cameron and Mr. Cameron, I have the same problem with the Mineral City Land Company lots, I don't know if anybody has some of those here, but, we can't build on them, and I have one in my yard that's fenced in, but I can't build on it, and I think that might be a challenge, for Mr. Cameron too, and that reduces the size of the lots and whether or not you can build, so, that's a challenge too, so. On our block anyway, on this particular block.
right,
Okay.
All right.
Again,
Yep.
Mr. Loudon is not here to speak on his behalf and whatever
Right.
perspective, what he may want to do is immaterial.
That's.
well, I'm gonna skip number 4 because until we have a vote, there's no sense discussing number 4. So I'll close the public hearing for the number 3. I'll open the public hearing, setting the new water and sewer utility fees. Again, anybody on the public side that wants to stand up and make any comments about that, that's been publicized in the paper numerous times. We've also put it up around town, and I think at one time we've already had people in to actually talk about the utilities. So if anybody in the public wants to speak, Not seeing any.
Are we gonna be able to?
You're gonna speak afterwards, yes.
Okay,
Okay, so I'll close the public hearing. I will bring it back to council, to item number 1 first. An increase in the meals tax from 5% to 6%. Yes, sir.
It is on the agenda under new business.
Okay. You want me to go?
Well, I did that.
Okay. Thank you for getting me organized. So we'll hold off on the comments until we get down to new business. Folks, if you look at your tabs, there's at least 1, 2, 3, 4 council minutes from May 9th, May 24th, June 12th, and June 2nd. If I can draw your attention to May 9th, 2022. If you've had an opportunity to look at it, if you have any additions, subtractions, or comments specific to that,
Are these the same that were emailed to us?
they are certain, yes. If not, at some point, I'll take a motion.
It says 22, isn't it 23?
23.
Yeah, well,
Okay, just check.
Well, the minutes actually say 20.
They do say 20.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's.
I got a copy right here.
I'm just looking at it.
it's the back end of the.
I motion to approve the minutes as presented for May 9th, 2023.
Okay,
Separate them because I will.
we are separated.
Yeah.
You're doing it.
Yeah, we're just doing May 9th. Yeah.
Seconded.
Seconded by Olivia. And then I will, Ms. Colbert,
Are you doing it for the whole group?
no,
Just for the night.
just the night,
I'm sorry. I'm abstaining.
okay, one abstain, Bernice,
Yes.
yes? Blair, yes.
Yes.
Yes, Olivia,
Yes.
yes.
let me draw your attention to May 24th, 2023.
Not here we approve, May 24th, 2023.
I have a motion from Blair,
Second,
second by Ron. Becky,
Yes,
Olivia,
Yes.
Ron,
yes.
Blair, Bernice. Dr.
Abstain.
Cohen, abstain. Okay. And June 12th, 2023.
Motion to approve June 12th minutes as presented.
Discussion?
Once we get to second, then we'll have a discussion.
Seconded.
Okay, Olivia? Yes,
Correction under when I spoke, in regards to proposing a mural be painted, strike that line. It was not proposed.
okay,
And then the next paragraph in regards to Mike Mandarate, if you could add a statement in regards to, contacting him, you could find work.
thank you for pointing those out.
Thank you.
With those, corrections.
Motion, Ron, you seconded.
Olivia. Yeah. Dr. Tobin,
22nd?
yes, okay. Agreed,
Yes.
right? Ron,
Yes.
Olivia,
Yes.
yes,
thank you. Now the June 2nd, 2023.
Motion to approve June 22nd, 2023 as presented.
Second.
Olivia,
Why does it list me as absent?
You were absent in the beginning. On the minutes down in there, it says you came in at 6:40.
Got it. Okay.
You're there.
Okay. Yes.
okay, thank you. Rob,
Yes.
Bernie?
Yes.
Dr. Tobin,
yes,
thank you very much. Tab F. Approval of the bills to be paid.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
can I make a comment on the bills to be paid?
Yes, sir.
Um. In the budget you passed, and as also last year, there was a resolution but never implemented. To pay the bills in a timely manner was included in your appropriation that you gave the town manager to pay basic ordinary expenses on the basically mid-month and end of month. Then will be, and if there's some extraordinary expense that comes up, I would bring that for the council. So starting next month, it won't be bills to be paid. It will be a report on the bills paid in the month of July. And I just wanted to note that you'll see something different next month.
Motion to approve the bills to be paid for June 2023. As presented.
Yeah, I have a motion by Ron to pay the bills as presented. Thank you. Denise, second. Becky,
Yes.
Dr. Cobble,
Yes.
Bernice.
Yeah.
Ron
Yes.
and Olivia.
Yes.
He managers not,
He's earning the money for us right now.
yeah,
Uh,
you want to go ahead and
yes,
talk about that?
yes, so, we closed the year exceeding revenue expectations. As you can see, it was an extremely healthy month. And, we only need like $20,000 to hit what was budgeted. This month, we had, issues with the computers. So in addition to the holiday closing and, again, the system failed, and then we're trying to get some new computers up and that's not going smoothly. And so we've had limited use of computers. So, normally you would expect that, revenue to be down, but, Shannon stayed one night with a good pile of business and actually generated $8,000 worth of income in one day for the town. So that should help us do that. And that's what she's doing right now. She's doing some of the work on those big ticket items from the dedicated service group that we have. And that's also something that when we talk about my manager's report, I'll get into some things that we're talking about doing.
Think. Yeah, her staff is really,
And just really permanent,
Yep.
and, you know, putting in the effort, and I, you know, talk about recognizing it at another meeting, but
right.
excellent work. And we got to share that with her.
Well, with that, the town manager, if you'd like to start with your report,
Finished up after last meeting and trying to get a new routine where we certify and file all the resolutions and finalize them. Finalized engagement letter with Brown and Edwards, the accounting consultants we had a kickoff meeting a week ago. It went extremely well. We were able to retrieve some information from our QS1 system, the report that it's generating. The general ledger was in order, and we were lucky because when they opened our town, it was like, oh my God, what is this accounting system here? And Rebecca, when she was here and was making the transition, he went back and had taken the general ledger from our town from the beginning of the fiscal year and entered it there. So she said that was going to be a good starting point. They're coming in with the team of accountants that are working on this project this Friday. What they'll do is they'll take that information she got from the general ledger, and then they'll start turning it up against our bank accounts and our invoices to see if everything can be reconciled. So that if that goes smoothly, and it sounded she was positive that this would move right along, then we can move to the next phase, which is contingent upon our computer system being set up correctly. Then we can get the the Southern software on and start to put the new chart of accounts in and start migrating to that system. So that's moving along smoothly. I also have been prepared some analysis for the personnel committee on some restructuring and some pay hierarchy for the entire staff as a coherent, what is each job work and where should people be placed in that? Which will also result in the need for some new job descriptions. I need to set a time. I'd like to get back that in August, particularly so we can move forward with getting the clerk, special projects person in here. And so we can meet afterwards to find out what date is, and that's going to be one of my priorities towards the August meeting. We got the extension from USD. Once we signed the letter, engagement letter, we sent that in our USDA rep sent it to the state to say they're making good faith effort to get their audit done. We're also overdue for a compliance audit, and I'm not quite sure what exactly is entailed in that. I sent out to you the questionnaire they had about composition of ethnicity and sex and race of the employees and council members. They also asked what the race and ethnicity of our users were and how many applied and how many we rejected of users of the system. Well, we don't keep that and we don't reject people. You know, you pay your money and you get your water. And it's simple as that. So we'll talk to them. Then they're going to do some interviews with current employees in council members and want to go over.
Sure.
So, and Ed and I talking, who we thought they have to be current ones. So those who have the most knowledge of hiring practices, things here. Ed's been on the council before. Shannon does most of the hiring for DMV, and Talia was here, and she's still a part-time employee. She was here for most of the time of the review, so we thought she'd be the one that could provide them with the answers. We had asked on, and they want 3 community leaders. It had talked about having past employees and past council members, mayors be represented, and they told us we could put them down as the community leaders. So Mayor Harlow will ask to be one of them. Tommy Running, because he worked with the water and sewer, and Willie Harper because he was town manager in the past and has some historical context of what happened in the town. I've got to coordinate with Ed. They're anxious to do that within the next week, and we need to get times available for the interviews for these people on that. And I'll also ask if provide us with the questionnaire beforehand.
I think that might be helpful because right now we haven't told these individuals that we've forwarded.
Oh, I didn't know that. Well, I haven't sent anything in.
No, I know, but
Yeah.
we haven't told them that, hey, USDA wants to interview, and we're suggesting that because you are here and you have intimate knowledge that, you know, are you okay with them interviewing you on the water? So they don't know that that's coming yet because we just got that formulated today, and that it's just strange, all the things that they're asking for, which to me is just unbelievable. Yes.
And this has to do with, just so that everyone understands why this is being done, it has to do with the loan that we have.
Yes.
And if the town is not charging enough, they can basically come back and tell us we have 90 days to make changes to our rates yet again.
Yeah, so let me clarify that just a little bit. So when we borrowed the money back in 2008, there was a set of conditions that we agreed to. We being the leadership at the time. Interesting, USDA, to our knowledge, has never come and asked until recently. So one of those conditions was that they want to make sure that we're charging enough that the water system is paying for itself and paying the bill, the loan to them. And one of the provisions is they're gonna do their own math and look at the size of the town versus other places. And then they're gonna come up with a formula. And part of the report is, okay, town of Mineral, you have X amount of people, this is what you're charging, this is what the prevailing cost is. And kind of like when you're doing your house thing, they're taking comparables. And they will tell us, yes, what you're charging is good, it's covering it, or no, you need to raise it X amount more. We don't know which way they're going because we don't have access to that information that they have. So we don't know.
These
So-
rates is not something we really
Right,
want.
so the end thing, I guess, for the public is even though we're raising the rates as of July first. Stand by, somewhere down the road, we might have to raise it again because of this analysis that's being done by USDA.
Yep.
And until they do that and present it to us, we have no idea.
And mostly due to the fact that this was put in the agreement and the fact that past council administration chose not to raise the rates, which in the process is messing with us.
And it's just,
So I would say that that's a good possibility. I don't want to say because that would be speculative on my side to say that
Right.
we're way down and we're going to get slammed. I don't know that, but
yeah, and they just,
Yeah.
None of us on this council really wanted to raise rates.
they just do it.
Yeah.
We only had the loan on the water system.
Yeah.
So it'll only be on the water system, and I provided them with the number of users as
Right.
well as the rates.
Yeah.
Just on timing, she's really urgent on this because she stressed that this was supposed to be done long time ago. So I think because we're a small town, it sort of got
lost.
put done, but she.
Sounds like their fault.
Yeah, well, it is, and that's why she's in a big hurry to get in here as soon as possible, because she's got to get it done.
Okay.
Hopefully, we did a Band-Aid on this,
Yeah. So
because it could possibly have been worse.
Do we still have a loan on the building? I thought we
Yes,
did.
we do,
Yeah, that's separate.
for a long time.
Do we know
Water
what the
system
time
implement.
frame is? Can we get an answer?
Don't know, but they're gonna be here talking to us, so, it'd be opportune time to ask them, timeframe and what exactly they're doing and what to expect from them.
When are they coming in?
We haven't set the date yet. That's
Yeah.
one of the things.
Oh, okay.
We gotta get a hold of those folks because they wanna come here and sort of meet with them. I don't know, as a group or individually or how they wanna do it, but they wanna come on site, meet people. They're also gonna take photos, I'm assuming, of the water system. But she says we're gonna take photos. And I said, well, hopefully not of us. But,
Our water tower.
anything else, Reese?
yeah, it just, the council packet and along those lines, I'm initiating, starting the agenda management in the webpage, updates. I've sent information to you, Bernice, today on the webpage. Agenda management, I probably worked with you mostly, but the things they want to kick that off are the format of your agenda, the format of your work reports. If you have an action item page, they want all those templates because what they'll do is they'll put that in. They want a template of how we've done minutes. Well, we've done minutes numerous ways. So we'll want that in the same for the planning commission. And what they'll also do once we move down, they'll upload the files for us once we get on that. So we'll put together some proposed formats for agendas. You've seen the action item page I've used in the past, which explains for people the monthly, the weekly reports, those formats I've used for a long time. And I think that aids it's a little bit more work than give an oral report, but it gives you some information where you can ask questions beforehand when it goes out in the packet. And then that'll be integrated into the website. So I'll be working on that and spending some time on that between now and August. Working on the collection of past due meals tax that I need to talk to Andrea afterwards. And of course, we've had numerous technical problems. This being today, it took me about 2 hours to get it to update, and then there's a whole new menu, and it's Google must have bought them or something, or somehow it's trying to integrate with Google. But we'll get this straightened for the next meeting. That's it.
Thank you. Anybody have any questions for the town manager?
I emailed you my availability. Did you get that?
What's that?
I emailed you my availability.
I was probably in here
Yeah,
trying to get the.
I saw. Are there any other staff reports? Personnel committee?
Well, the only thing I do want to report is we did get your email, so we'll get with you at the end of the meeting and set up a time that works for us.
Yeah, and I also emailed it to Michelle.
And does Michelle have a,
She has an email, but she didn't turn it on.
Yeah, I
So I'll-
didn't turn it on.
I'll send
I'm sorry.
That's where I sent all
we need
that.
to do that, yeah, we need to do that for FOIA. Because the FOIA requests your personal email. Now,
I haven't done it personally.
No.
I'm not using my personal either. So, I mean, I'm not using something else. In the meantime, I just did this on Friday. It expired over the weekend while I was working on my house. and It's or would it be Thursday, maybe not.
I'll send it out tonight.
Yeah, thank you. I'm sorry.
For tomorrow.
utilities, any,
I'm gonna set up a meeting this month, but I haven't set it up yet. And at the last meeting, we were still talking about projects and their priority and when they would be started.
okay,
And that's a utility water sewer, but I'm sure. I did get feedback from somebody in the community about our wells, that, the community isn't aware of why we aren't using our wells, and maybe we should be giving that information to people. I don't know it, so I couldn't provide that with Mr. Cameron, but I don't have enough information to provide, and maybe that's something I should do, but
yeah.
do we know?
Yeah, and we have,
We have that
Yeah.
information, so I need to find out and.
right,
Why should you go?
yeah, we only have one well now, and it's,
Are they like dead?
Yes.
closed,
Yeah, they are.
Forever dead?
yep, unless you got $250,000 to do a new one.
Okay, so that's what,
Yeah, that's
Okay.
why we're buying most of our water from the county,
And we can't get a grant until we get,
the audit done.
we have to do the eye before we.
Yeah.
Yeah, we gotta
A
get-
grant that could open a well.
right, we gotta get our books in order to be able to
Yeah.
get the grant.
Okay,
So it's
Yep.
a work in progress.
okay,
Yep.
I just, I want to be able to give that information to
Sure.
people in the house.
Cemetery, any words of wisdom?
Lois is cutting the grass.
Okay,
That's it.
okay. What about fire?
You already said about the serious accident yesterday. It was a Menlo fire truck that was wrecked, but it was company two's paid fireman. So that's about it. The ag fair, I don't know if this is under that or not, but they will be at Walton Park, the 27th, 28th, and 29th
Okay,
Of this month?
of this month.
Okay.
And I guess the fair went okay, Stuart.
Yes, ma'am, without an issue. We had
Okay,
A little bit of rain, but it was okay.
Yeah.
And one night we were blessed with beautiful weather and it was nice and cool instead of humid.
Yeah. Well, John came home soaking wet.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
Humidity that I was afraid of.
Yeah.
Well, it-
Well, good. Good.
This is a wonderful event.
Oh.
Wonderful.
Have we, I know we talked about it during, the water committee. But, is a reminder still going out to the, fire department not to have volunteers use.
Hey, that's already gone out by the fire chief. Yes. So, public affairs, do you have anything you want to add? Obviously, we got a new website, we're gonna crank up here soon and.
Yeah, second iteration of our town newsletter has been produced. I unfortunately with the new work schedule have not been able to get over to the post office to speak with them about putting it in each of the boxes. I think I'm going to have to call them in order to figure out what that price is going to be. And I will notify you guys once I have. With that, continue to send me things that you guys would like to see go out to the public. Perhaps I can do a secondary page on the water system to notify people of what's going on there. Additionally, continuing to use town social media to advertise for different things going on in the community. And as I stated last meeting, the intention is to reach out to local business owners in order to be able to bolster them on social media as well. Really be championing our small business owners and community. So
Okay.
that's about it.
Thank you.
Olivia, I can go to the post office and ask them how much it would cost.
If you have time, that would be great. I can call on my lunch break if I remember it.
I
But-
got 3.
That would be awesome because I leave Mineral at 7 and get back about 6:30. So thanks, Bernice.
The only thing that I have that I was approached by a couple of folks on, of course, everybody loves our new electronic sign. But it became apparent to me that those that love it also think it's way too bright at night. And an individual here, he says, hey, I don't need a nightlight when I get up in the middle of the night because I got this shiny blue light when that one ad comes up that lights up his whole bedroom and stuff. So he asked, and I guess I'm kind of asking you, Bernice, since you, whether there is a way that we can either program that after dark, it dims,
I'll call them and ask.
or if not, is there a way that maybe say at, and I'm just throwing a number out, at 10 o'clock, it shuts down, and then at 7 in the morning, magically comes on like it's on a timer?
Yeah.
I don't know. We can-
I'll call and ask.
Yeah, if you could, just so that we can see if we can help. The folks across, I think Lewis is another one, and
Yeah, right.
Keep him awake.
what's his, I forget his name.
Tony Williams.
Tony, yeah. We could at least look at that. The only other comment that I had, and of course, again, these are just comments, I'm not throwing any stones, is some folks said that the font was a little too small. And I said, well, how fast were you going through town? Because,
It is very small, but that's what they tell me to put up there, so.
well, I know, and that's why,
It's light background and it's not a lot of contrast either.
You can't use yellow, you can't use whites, you can't use pink, any light color like that causes it to crash.
right, so that's why I'm not throwing any stone, I'm just throwing this out, that these are some of the challenges that we have. And so we just have to figure out if
It's our.
there's a better way to.
Internet.
Electronics. Well, so,
Our network. It's on the same breaker as
flagpole.
the flag, so. Kind of needs to be on its own breaker.
It's on circuit, yeah.
But he tells me that the light colors like that uses it, it uses up your sign. So the lighter your colors are, the faster your sign dies.
Right, so, okay, so it's got very light back.
But see, what happened was when I had a white background for DMV, the very first day I put it up. And it caused it to crash because it was on that flagpole
Right.
breaker.
Right.
So those are really the only other comments that I had as it related to. Yes, sir.
It's gonna be putting a new separate breaker.
We could do that if council would like that.
And also, can you break them up into different pages, like on DMV Connect, you just have one page on here are their hours, and then one page on here.
I think we're going up into different pages, sure.
Yeah, and that might help on the font size things.
Yes, and again, Grace, thank you for taking on
I
that.
actually thought about putting DMV mobile unit here today.
Yeah, tomorrow.
Yeah,
All right, yeah.
In fact, all their things are actually.
appointments are up.
So, any other,
Yes, so I just wanted to remind everybody that Jim and I will be in Roanoke next week for the VML Planning Commission seminar. I think, Jim, you're Monday, right? And I'll be there the entire week.
okay,
We'll pray for you.
steal
Thank you.
any booklets that they're getting, get a couple extra copies.
I'm getting a U-Haul, to get the stuff.
State that, during the months of August and September, I will be, calling in due to receiving radiation treatment.
Okay,
And possibly October, I may call in because, as I start getting treatment, I get more tired,
right,
so.
okay, thank you for that. I'm gonna be gone the end of the month to a big aviation fly-in up in Wisconsin, but I'll be close by. Town attorney's report.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I sent out a draft of the February minutes today. I want to go through them one more time, as I said in the email, but I think they're pretty close to being done. There were, when I went through the Zoom recordings, there was a recording for February the 24th, and I checked with Ms. Cubey, and she said, well, I only did March forward. And then I realized that I think that was that Friday night meeting when you really basically interviewed candidates. So I'll go ahead and I'll put those together and email you out. I thought it was a different meeting where I wasn't present, but I did it virtually because I remember it now. So I'll get those to you. I am working with the town the manager, okay. On meals tax collection, I do think that that's a significant issue. I also think we have some water accounts that probably need some attention. For those of you, I'm glad to hear about the social media emphasis. As of July 1, TikTok is not allowed on any government devices. So no TikTok.
Yeah.
Also, websites must be ADA compliant. And there are a lot of things that you have to do to make them ADA compliant.
The new system we bought is ADA.
It is,
Yes,
okay,
they
good.
stress that in their sales.
That's great because there are lawyers who are going around looking to make money off of this.
How does, so that for our website, how does that play for social media? Like, is there anything that as I'm posting that I need to be aware of as well?
Yeah,
as
it
that
has,
for like,
it has to be ADA compliant too.
is there somewhere that I can find like guidance for that?
You mean like a Facebook page has to be ADA?
Yeah, I will try to see what I can find for you. What I know is that there are consultants that are like training people. Like one thing I know is that if you post a picture,
The caption, you need
you have to give a caption. But I'll try to find out some things and send it to you.
And I'll check with the company that we're doing our webpage, if they've got some guidelines on that.
Yeah.
Should we stop posting to social media until we are in line with this? I mean, we don't want to feed the fire, right?
The technical legal answer is yes, but it would involve a weighing the risk of having somebody make a complaint versus getting communication out, which the community has expressed a strong desire for.
And also, as long as I think we're showing good faith effort to move forward with compliance. No, don't count it out.
Can we, add something to each post? And so basically, if you're having difficulty accessing this post, call us and, we will, make us aware, or, I don't know, to kind of. For our local people, I don't.
Try to get you some things pretty quickly.
Yeah.
So does VML have any guidance on this?
I have not seen any. It's a great topic for us,
One of the courses next week is on ADA compliance.
report. Ask him if,
I can try.
Ask them if they mind if you record it for us.
He doesn't have to, most of them, when I've gone to the conferences,
They
all
send,
you just have to do is go up and ask the instructor, they already have it.
yeah,
Is that,
They'll send it, they'll email it to you.
Oh, yeah, like a presentation, that'd be great.
are you going to the VML or is that the planning conference?
planning, conference, but the VML is gonna be there.
They're gonna be there.
Yeah.
Focused on the plan.
Right, okay. Anything else?
Yes. There are new advertising requirements as of July 1 now. First advertisement cannot run more than 14 days before the meeting.
Put that in simple English for me.
But they've got to run twice.
Yeah, and that has to be 7 days in between, so theoretically it could run the day before. And then 7 days before
We don't
that.
have a daily paper. So unless we have our
You
meeting
have to
on,
advertise in.
yeah, I was gonna say, unless we have a paper that produced on Tuesday, we can't do that. We can't comply with that.
Yeah, I mean, you may have to,
Well, ours is, well, I mean, you get. So. Thursday to Thursday, is that 7 days?
yes,
So, yeah, we can get probably 2 publications in before the meeting because it can be up to the day before the meeting. But ours is on Thursday.
But no more than
Monday.
14 days before, right?
yeah.
So 14 days before would be Tuesday.
So if you did Thursday to Thursday,
They make this stuff up.
that right?
Imagine they're not thinking about the small municipalities when they.
They don't think that.
They think that everybody are like,
Yeah,
Right.
Okay, so like for today, so if the. Yes, so if the ad had run July 6th and June 29th. That works because 14 days is June 26th. So that first ad just has to be within a 14-day window of today.
okay.
It is very confusing. It's gonna throw a lot of people.
And those are the days that we ran.
Yeah, good. Good job.
Well, we gave it to you. We did it the
Um,
29th.
Mr. Morgan has declared bankruptcy. June the 12th. And that means that when a person declares bankruptcy, all of their assets become frozen. They can't do anything with them. And so I do believe that we have a validly recorded lien at the courthouse. I saw it before. I think perhaps there might have been a miscommunication with the clerk in terms of information that was shared with Mr. Jarvis. Because the lien that we filed was not a judgment lien, it was a lien to recover the costs, and normally those have no expiration. Where will we rank in the priority of creditors? I don't know. People are still in the process of submitting their proof of claims. We will be submitting a proof of claim, and the town of Louisa has also submitted a proof of claim. So
The county. So
the county of Louisa, did I say town? I'm sorry, yeah, the county of Louisa. And so at this time, I don't, I think we're kind of in a holding pattern in terms of looking at any options in that regard. But I will continue to monitor that and keep you updated.
And he owes us this year's taxes.
Right. That's the, proof of claim. Right. And then the last thing is that I have something to hand out to you, and that is that. Could you pass it down? Is that I have really enjoyed working with you, but I am tendering my resignation. I've contacted Reese and told him I will not leave guide training. I will continue to assist, and I will definitely stay on top of the Morgan bankruptcy. But I wish everything good through and much success. I know that you've got a lot on your plates, so you'll do a great job.
Well, that's a hell of a way to end a report. Thank you. Well, certainly, I'd like to thank you because I was in council last year, and there were lots of things that you were helping us out with, and lots of things that I thought I knew a few things, but certainly got educated in some areas. Not that I agreed with you on everything, but it was okay. It was stimulating the mind in the legal department, so.
Yeah. I agree.
With that, unless there's any other council report that anybody wants to give,
Thank you, Miss Beautification.
okay, go ahead.
We have two benches in here that are waiting to be put together. And we'll tell you more about that whenever we figure out where we're putting them. And we also have Olivia and Ron, who's been working on flower bed at the end of town. And I've been working on the one over at the love sign as well as in front of my house. And the other thing is, for beautification's sake, can we please have some new flags outside the building?
Do we know where we get the town flag from? There hasn't been a town flag up there in
No.
over a year.
Can you ask Talia? She knows.
Okay.
I want to say it's LKA that printed for us before,
I don't know.
but I went and bought the last two flags that went up to pole because I got sick of seeing torn up American
Yeah.
flags flying in front of our building.
Yeah, we need new flags.
I know Carrot Top is a big flag distributor. I don't know if
And when you take the flag down, can I please receive it?
I bring them to the Boy
Yeah.
Scouts.
Uh,
I bring them to the Boy Scouts.
if it's this type, there's an organization that actually cuts the stars out and sends them to veterans to carry around.
okay,
And then we can give it to the Boy Scouts.
okay. We can do that. Under the old business. We're fine. As of last month, we didn't necessarily appoint a zoning administrator. I did reach out.
Recording in progress.
I did talk to Josh, who is part of the planning commission for Volusia County. He gave us a name of an individual. Unless you've heard from that individual, I have not. I'll touch base with them, but right now there's quite a few things. And Race, you want to add anything to?
Just, Mr. Washington's been waiting. Keeps stopping by the office. He wants to do some work. It's the property next to, across from Miller's Market, next to Ron. That need a zoning administrator to sign off. And he called me last week and he stopped in again today, and I told him that I would talk to the council that you need to have somebody that will sign off on that, even if you're gonna just put somebody's name here in an interim basis, because you just shouldn't be telling people you can't do anything in town because we haven't made an appointment.
Is it something that you can, the reason we didn't appoint you, I think, originally was, I didn't want you to be 10 feet over your head with
Yeah.
stuff to
I
do.
mean,
Is it something you
Yeah.
can take on
Oh.
temporarily?
the simple things, these are, his is gonna be a simple thing. One, he has to get the land subdivided, but it's just setbacks. It's not like you're having a major rezoning or something like that. And even if you did get a major rezoning, I could get somebody to give us some help on a one case type basis probably. But we need to do something here. And if it's even just appointing me, and then if I get overwhelmed, we'll see if this retired person will be interested in, but we don't even know if the person's interested. They've been retired a while. And if they haven't got back to us, that sort of indicates to me that either A, they're on vacation and not in communication, or it's they're really not interested in reaching
I was
out.
going to go ahead and have Reese be the zoning administrator, just so that we can get some of these things that are backing up completed.
I think that we should. I agree. I think that we should.
You need a second, I'm sorry.
Oh, I'll second.
Okay, now we'll have to.
Now we can discuss it. I think that we should, but again, I do not want you to get overwhelmed and stressed out. So if we actively start pursuing someone who can take this on a case by case basis, then let's make that happen too.
Is, you know, I'm pretty good at setting priorities and I get done what I can get done. To me, the counting, that's gonna be on its track by its own. So that's not gonna take my time. Hopefully Fred can get our equipment harnessed, get going on that. What I really need to do, that we really need to stress, and that's us to get some job description for the clerk's position and get that out so we can get somebody in here. Like I said, in the short term, this is short term work. So I have no problem with that. And, you know, and I talked to Ed Daly to say, here's what I can do, here's what I can't.
Right.
Where I'm doing my focus. Again, I want to look at the foundational things, the things that I think are the most important are A, getting your accounting system in place so that you can get information, the public can have transparency on what's going on, and getting systems in to do that, and then freeing us up so we can get some money for our water and sewer different studies. The second is the web page to me, and again, is transparency and communication with the system and automation too of the board management. Because putting these things together just by hand and merging them and getting packets together take a lot more time than they need to. And you know, when there's two of you and you got a lot of different things going on in the office, it just makes it harder. So I'll let you know.
Okay,
I can do what I can do.
within resolution 2023-007, a resolution for the appointment of a zoning administrator. Whereas the town of Mineral currently has no zoning administrator. Whereas the Code of Virginia permits and the town of Mineral Code requires the town council to appoint a zoning administrator. Now therefore it be resolved that the town council of Mineral on this day, the 10th day of July 2023, does hereby appoint Reese Peck as the zoning administrator for the town of Mineral. And there was a motion by Blair and seconded by Ron and Dr. Kovitz.
Yeah.
Bernice,
Yes.
Blair,
Yes.
Ron,
Yes.
Olivia,
Yes.
Yes,
okay. The foregoing resolution is duly adopted by the vote that was just unanimous 6-0. Under the new business, ordinance number 2023-03. Ordinance to increase the meals tax from 5% to 6%. Be it ordained by the Mineral Town Council and the Mineral Town Code, Chapter 389, Taxation, Article 5, Meals Tax, Section 389-26 be amended to read in its entirety as follows. Levy of tax. There is hereby imposed a levy by the town of Mineral on each person a tax at the rate of 6% on the amount paid for meal purchases from any food establishment, whether prepared in such food establishment or not, and whether consumed on the premise or not. There shall be no tax if the total amount paid is 50 cents or less. On larger amount, a fractional cent, a tax shall be rounded to the next higher cent. The tax shall be collected in the manner at the time prescribed by this article. I need a motion, whether to adopt this ordinance.
So made.
Ron,
Seconded.
seconded by Olivia. And the vote, Becky,
Yes.
Olivia,
Yes.
Ron,
Yes.
Blair,
Yes.
Ms. Cuby,
Yes.
Dr. Cole.
Yes.
This ordinance shall be, take effect upon now. And just so that I'm clear, will that start tonight or will it actually be retro to July 1st at the beginning of the fiscal year for the terms of letting our meals folks know that the meals tax is now 6%?
It's gonna take effect tonight.
Okay, so we'll need to get letters out to all the,
And they don't report to us for this month until next month,
right,
so.
okay.
So the one for this month will still be at the old rate.
Okay.
They have till the 20th.
Okay, I just want to make sure that we get the word out to that.
Mr. Snyder,
Yes, sir. Oh,
I'm involved with the farmer's market, so when you talk about prepared food, you're talking about the people who sell pie at the farmer's market.
that has not been the case, Mr. Snyder. So now you've asked the question. Be careful what you ask for.
The reason I ask it is that you don't exempt it. And there is one spot that exempts the farmer's market from business tax. If you don't exempt it from the meals tax, one could argue that they don't get an exemption because you didn't exempt it, where you did for the business tax or the receipts tax.
So,
No, we just have never required them to buy a business license. That's what he's talking about.
Yeah, they're not a registered business in the town of Mineral. They're under the umbrella of the farmer's market, so they wouldn't even be considered for a meals tax.
And that used to be not even called a business license, it was called a peddler's
Peddler's
license.
Right. Yeah, so they would be exempt by proxy because they're not even businesses in Mineral.
Thank you.
ordinance number 2023-04. Ordinance to clarify the real estate tax rate and lower the rate from 22 cents per $100 of assessed value to 20 cents per $100 of assessed value. Be it ordained by the Mineral Town Council that the Mineral Town Council, Chapter 389, Taxation, Article 1, General Provisions be amended by adding a new section to read in its entirety as follows. Real estate tax rate. The tax rate for real property shall be 20 cents per $100 of assessed value. And this ordinance shall take effect upon adoption and be retroactive to January 1st, 2023. If council is in agreement with that, I'll entertain the motion.
So made.
Ron has made the motion. Need a second. Bernice has made, and then roll call. Becky?
Can we discuss really quick?
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry.
No,
I just had one question and I'm sure it's a simple answer.
Yep.
So when we send the tax tickets up for this year to be prepared, do we let Louisa County know that we've dropped? How is that gonna?
That doesn't affect Louisa County at all. It's whatever tax rate we tell the preparer of our tickets to apply.
Okay, so the spreadsheet that they put together at the county doesn't have anything to do with this, no?
Well,
I have
yeah,
Well,
yeah, they'll be, yeah, you're right.
Yes, so the answer is, we will make sure it doesn't get screwed up.
Okay, we'll make sure someone, I mean, I just know the first year that I was here, it happened. So I don't.
understand.
And it's the Southern software, we send them the information, they can whatever it is that they need to do, it'll go into our system.
Right.
So we'll start doing it in-house.
So, right,
Yes.
you need that for the calculations.
Yeah, Becky,
And it's they're,
Becky,
oh, sorry.
The people that have mortgages have complained that it's usually sent to your mortgage company, and now it's not. The last 2 years, it has not. Is this going to be happening this year like it always has been done? Louisa County sends it to them,
yeah.
and y'all were doing it up until I guess the last 2 years you have not.
So what happened was that company that we had hired actually went bankrupt and dropped the ball and didn't send it out. And then when we started digging, they were confused as to when they were supposed to send it, because the year prior, we changed it from do this time to do this time, and then we swapped it the next year. And so they ended up paying 10% tax to the town for getting it out late to all the users. And so I'm hoping.
And then you went back to the.
Yeah.
And the new software also, the fee is cheaper than sending it out, to get it.
Yeah, we do.
Well, that'd be
You're gonna
nice.
be saving money in the long run doing this.
Yeah,
And we're in control at that point, making sure it gets out like it's supposed to.
good. Anybody else have any questions? Okay, Dr. Colvin,
Yes.
Bernice,
Yes.
Blair,
Yes.
Becky,
Yes.
Olivia,
Yes.
Rob.
Yes.
Okay.
Your question is, like the mayor sent out, the secretary of revenue request with all your tax rates, and so once a year, we submit to them what all our tax rates are, and what our tax credit is for vehicles, which we need to talk about at the next meeting.
Right. Ordinance number 2023-05. An ordinance to amend the fees charged for water sewer service. Be it ordained by the Mineral Town Council as its regular monthly meeting on the 10th day of July 2023, that the Mineral Town Council sets the utility rates as follows. Water and sewer residential rates, the town of Mineral users in town under 1,500 gallons, a flat rate of $20, a sewer rate of $30. All other in town, the first 3,000 gallons, the water rate will be $30, the sewer rate will be $40. If you exceed 3,000 gallons, it'll be $9 per 1,000 gallons, and the sewer rate will be $12 per 1,000 gallons. If you're out of towner, the first 3,000 gallons will have a water rate of $35, and the sewer rate is NA. And if you're over 3,000 gallons, it'll be $10 for each 1,000 gallons. And again, there is no sewer rate, and we don't have a sewer rate for out of towners. The connection rates for water plus installation cost. If you're doing a residential water connection fee per single family unit, and it's a 5/8 inch line, it'll be $6,780. If you're doing a commercial or a large water connection fee of 1 inch, it'll be $16,840 plus the installation costs. If you're doing a commercial large water connection fee of 1.5 inches, it'll be $28,400 plus the installation cost. If you're doing a commercial large water connection fee of a 2-inch line, it'll be $43,265 plus installation. If you're doing a 3-inch line, it'll be $73,600 plus the installation. If it's a 4-inch water line, it'll be $117,465 plus the installation charge. And if you're doing a commercial large water connection fee of at least a 6-inch line, it'll be $234,335 plus the installation charge. If the connection rates for the sewer, if it's a residential sewer connection of 1 to 4 inch per family unit, it'll be $10,720. If you're doing a commercial large sewer connection fee of 1.5 inches, it'll be $23,865 plus the installation charge. If you're doing a 2-inch commercial large sewer connection fee, it'll be $86,200 plus the connection fee or installation fee. And if you're doing a 4-inch, it'll be $211,000 plus the cost of the installation. And if you're doing a 6-inch line for sewer, it'll be $430,000 plus the installation. And if you're a solid waste collection rate and you're out of town only, the residential rate will be $310 per year. This ordinance will take effect upon adoption. What's council's pleasure?
Can I?
Yes, you may.
Council.
Yep.
Andrea. I see what I consider scrivener's error in there. On the sewer fee, it was supposed to be plus installation costs, and it says plus Depot. Can you put that in there as a scrivener's correction? Okay, thank you.
Now, time for discussion. We need a motion second first, right?
Yeah, we need a motion.
I have something to say.
We need a motion second.
A motion.
Okay, I have a motion by Dr. Colbert,
Seconded.
second by Olivia, and now discussion. Okay.
The sewer rate for over $3,000. I have brought this to your attention before. You are raising the rate 35.59% for over 3,000 gallons. That is outrageous. I know not everyone has sewer, but I feel like that we're being the ones that do have sewer, and I have sewer. That rate is outrageous. Understand that every bit of water and all that goes through the wastewater, the county fills us. So the people that have sewage is being punished by having to pay for that water that we're not using.
Well, there are people in town, Mr. Mayor, that don't get town water and we're being punished.
And you got the fire department using the water at the fire department at times. And we're having to pay for it.
But when you have wastewater, and so you're raising these rates because of what the town is being charged by the county, then we're picking up that have sewer. I mean, my water bill may be $100.
Until we get the sewer system fixed, there is nothing that we can do. Otherwise, or the town is going to fail.
Well, here's all I would say. I understand what you're saying.
35% is ridiculous.
Well, and all I can say is if we had been doing this gradually through the years, maybe the bite wouldn't be so hard. And stand by, I don't even know, once USDA, that may even go through the roof.
They're not.
Oh, that's right, Stuart, disregard. Strike that. So,
But we can request them to do a preliminary engineering report to tell us what needs to be done with the system to fix, which will have to be paid for out of revenues.
Right,
Can I get one quick comment?
go ahead.
You know, we list these, obviously, we have these services for sale. I have gotten some feedback that we barely have water pressure to sell now. And if we're offering all these huge, you know what I mean, it's like, we offer this, but can we actually provide this stuff? I mean, we're already, for example, the Baptist church is really at a challenge and they can't. You know, the water is getting wasted because, you know, they don't have enough pressure to run what they're required to have, and, you know, we're kind of falling short on providing service to them, and here we are offering all these huge tubes, are we doing a service?
To themselves about putting a 3-inch line.
I don't know,
That-
this is
that-
just
that-
feedback I got
Yeah,
from a member of the church, and
And for a big organization, they needed a 6-inch line.
And then, also on.
but I'm just saying, is I just wanna make sure we're doing the right thing, you know, that we're getting.
That's why the prices are
Well,
where they are, for us
yeah.
to do the right.
Okay, so when we put this money in, this doesn't cover like materials or whatever, this is just money that we will use what?
To put the system in,
Okay,
and the county gets a certain amount.
percentage of it.
And also,
But are we checking, make sure these are correct?
They're lowest around.
yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah,
okay.
that's the other thing, we are the lowest around in this area, so if we raise it up a little bit, maybe we can, I hate to say it, hold people off a little bit,
Okay.
but it's.
I thought we wanted to grow.
We gotta grow,
do, but
We're not gonna grow if
It's-
rates.
we gotta grow the system before. we
Yeah,
can-
we've gotta be able to have better infrastructure, otherwise we're gonna have even more people using the water system that doesn't even support it.
And whenever the fire trucks go to the school and they fill up the trucks, my water completely comes to a drip. So I mean, there's problems everywhere.
Yeah.
Well, it's not,
So
the fire department's gotta have.
Just a town,
They need to make it.
I mean, it's all.
everywhere, it's all of zone 10, zone 10 in
It's not
Virginia.
just us. So.
It's not gonna
I
change.
just, you know, we're getting ready to.
More
approve this, I
revenue
just
from
wanna
the
make sure it's
system.
something we can-
Right.
That's even improving the system probably won't help, but I mean, until the James.
Well, it will.
Improving the system
Improving
would
the
help, but we
system
need the
will.
capital in order to do so.
Right,
But the James River project, once that gets done, we will definitely always, won't have, the water pressure down.
That James River project has been promoted ever since I was a child.
well, and
I've been
started-
here 20 years,
Is there?
Right, we're a little.
that's all I got.
It's not in COVID,
Yes.
Bernice,
Yes.
Ron,
Yes.
Olivia.
No,
Okay. And what in reference to the next ordinance, there seems to have been a couple of things that was brought up. One that Mr. Loudon isn't here to represent himself. Guess you can take that two ways, either one, he didn't know, doesn't care, but we don't want to speculate that.
who's Mr. Rollins?
Mr.
Loudon.
Loudon.
Oh, okay.
So we can either hold this off until next month to get him an opportunity to speak or not. I mean, what's council?
Mr. Mayor, would we have to advertise it again if we hold it up?
No.
We don't have to pay for another news publication? Can you see any urgency in accepting or declining this tonight?
From my point of view, no.
Then I think that we should send Mr. Loudon a letter. From the town manager. If he chooses not to appear at the next meeting, then his opinion is immaterial.
Okay,
So you don't want it, I mean, you want to keep the roads open, correct?
Well, I do have some questions on the ordinance. So.
I think he should be.
Everybody find your research.
So I do have a question, and so again, I received a call on the 6th, I returned the call on the 7th that, hey, we're gonna close the road, I also spoke to the mayor. So I've had 4 days notice of closing the road, so I'm totally unprepared. Second thing, the ordinance and the way it's written, so is this ordinance the exact same verbiage for all the road closures in town? Was it copied, or was it just people just?
I'll let the attorney talk on that.
Pretty much the same.
The reason why I asked the question, when it gets to item number 4, the property transfer shall occur within 60 days of the date of ordinance. Or the aforementioned closed abandoned creek shall automatically revert to an undeveloped creek. So if that was occurred and I didn't do anything and Mr. Loudon didn't do anything. So then it just comes back, returned to the owner, or does it return to the tank?
No, the way that it would work is that if you decline to purchase, then the other property owner would have the ability to purchase the whole thing. But if they don't do what they need to do within 60 days,
Yeah.
then the whole thing is undone.
Okay, so nowhere, what you just said is not in.
Yeah, it's
I'm-
legally stuck. That's why I'm having the attorney tell you.
So then I go back to, let's say, item number 2, the property owner shall be responsible for the preparation of such necessary surveys. The preparation and recoordination, which shall be subject, okay, excuse me, to be subject to review and approval by the town attorney, obtaining approval for the boundary line adjustment. So if I want to open up the road, I'm responsible to pay for it. That's right. So if I want to change this and just put in a private drive, then I have to pay for the landowner, Mr. Loudon himself and whatever. Then we have to pay for the surveys and all for something that we don't want to have to happen. That we want to close the road. Shouldn't the individual who closed the road have to pay for all that, or doesn't want to close the road? Where does the cost come to the individual out of the canceled votes? Because that's not fair to us or myself that don't want to.
Well, that's why if you don't want to be a part of it, then the other person gets to take the whole road, the whole section, and you don't get your share of it because you've chosen not to have it surveyed and or do.
Yeah, but even if I chose to put in my half, because right when, I believe you corrected earlier, Ms. Bernice, would you think the right way?
Every other road we've ever closed around here, Lee Street, and we closed like a lot of roads at one point, because we had roads that had actual houses sitting in the middle of the road. If you were an alleyway, it was like 25 feet. If you were a street, it was 50.
50. So again, then I have to pay for, even though that's not my pleasure. I have to have surveys and all, and I'm responsible for payment, even though that's not.
If you choose to acquire it, then you're responsible.
But if I don't do anything, then who does it belong to?
The other property.
The other property owner who chose to go forward.
So then Mr. Loudon and I share property together. So if he decides not to do anything, I decide not to do anything, then what happens to the land?
The other property owner can purchase it.
Okay,
If there's a third property owner, they can purchase.
so then the town also runs through there too. So y'all gonna be required, somebody gonna be required from the town to pay for the survey and stuff?
No.
I mean, I'm just asking the question, you know, I mean, I feel like I'm being penalized for.
Sure, welcome to my world. Welcome to, this is part of the problem with this whole thing since I've been here. It doesn't make sense. I mean, I spent 3 years in litigation on it.
But
Yeah.
when you had your roads closed, you did not have to have a survey, and you did not pay for your attorney work. The town attorney did all of those and sent them to the people. And then all you had to do was take it to the courthouse and record it for $25.
No, I didn't even do that
I did.
because I had Albemarle was the most heavily surveyed road
Okay, well,
in numerous years because of,
in past years, it was the town attorney who did
yeah.
that work.
Is this happening? I mean, I haven't heard of anyone having to do this. Is this?
Mr. Ball did that,
That's how we've done it.
yeah,
All of them. You had them.
and also the one over
That's new?
8th
No.
Street.
No, I didn't know that either.
Yeah.
because I know, you know, I mean,
This has been done in the last several, but it's not the way it was
just
done.
recently.
Right.
It's very recent.
Yes, yes.
The survey and all that. Yeah, I didn't know either. So it's not written down. I mean, there's not a guide for this, so we're all kind of murky.
And the council has the ability to change the terms of the ordinance. It's your
Okay,
discretion.
so we can waive this. We don't have to have surveys and whatnot, right? If we, If it's been surveyed or whatever, I mean, that's an option for the county.
Well, I guess where I'm going with this is if there's a center line of the road. Okay, well, center line of the proposed road, right? So 25 foot this way is air property, 25 foot that way is allowed.
Right.
So I don't quite understand how that works, the legal terms that he automatically gets something. I'm not abandoning it, I'm just not agreeing that I wanna put a road in.
And
So
that's-
how can it be transferred over? I don't agree with that, but, and, I guess the last thing here is the deed shall dedicate a utility easement across the underneath properties for the benefit of future use of the town. But, so I don't get charged for an easement, that's my property, I mean.
Well,
It's free property and.
I mean, if you don't, I mean, if the town don't charge me, then that going, I can charge you, because you coming across my property.
well, the town's not charging you anything.
Well, if this goes,
And-
on this goes.
Right, in most of,
But I'm just
Yeah,
trying to be.
so
fair. I
all-
wanna make sure that everybody is
Yeah, so-
understands what I'm trying to.
Provision that all local governments.
So Stuart, you do not want this to happen, period, correct?
Well, I wanna keep it open, but then I don't wanna be punished.
Well, if it's kept open, then nothing happens, period.
it depends on how you
Road,
go.
road.
I don't think that we're prepared to.
Yeah,
vote
Yeah,
tonight.
That's why I just.
Like, I,
Table this,
I already said that.
okay.
I already made the motion.
You guys will send out a letter to Mr. Loud, and hopefully y'all will take it until next meeting, and then we'll have some time to.
Yeah, we,
I didn't want to.
Yeah.
yeah, no, we're gonna table
Bring
it.
some things out here that.
Yeah.
Kind of like double standard or what, it's just.
Exactly.
And just wanted clarity that that's the
Yeah.
way the rest of them have been done as well. And that's what it is, that's what it is, I'm just wanting to make sure that I understood the way, I was like, oh, wait a minute, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we want to be fair to
Thank you.
everybody involved as well. So we want to make sure Mr. Loudon gets an invitation.
I agree.
So back to my motion to table this until next month, pending that all three parties be informed.
Okay, Dr. Tobit,
Okay?
you're abstaining? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bernice,
Yes.
Blair?
Yes.
Ron,
Yes.
Olivia? Becky?
Yes.
We have 5 and 1 abstention, and we'll table it till next month.
Now, can we assure that someone from the office will send letters to,
Oh, you can bet your sleep.
thank you.
Yes.
I'm gonna take that as a vehement yes.
Yeah. We will do that. I guess, do we really need to go into closed session now that we know about the bankruptcy? Does anybody have anything else?
Can I ask one question?
Yes.
All right, since he's declared bankruptcy. And of course, that's gonna stay like it is right now. That
Right.
property is gonna be that ugly piece of whatever. So what course can we take? Is it no courses that we could take to make him do something?
No, I mean, you couldn't do it before, because it's an asset of the bankruptcy estate.
Oh, I have another.
So they get to whoever gets that piece of property.
The trustee of the bankruptcy has the obligation to liquidate the assets that are in the bankruptcy estate and to then determine the priority of creditors, and so that trustee decides who gets what.
So will we ever recoup 35,000? I think it's 35,000.
Going to be up to the bank.
It just depends.
Can we, but how do it random and actually?
Yes, we're going to, well, no, we're gonna file a proof of claim for.
You can fit in the
Okay, I have-
liquidation.
I have a,
Right, can we get on?
I have a question,
Yes, right.
because we, were looking at, the town was looking at purpose land. Was not, I thought the way he said that he was waiting
Yeah.
and give us a chance.
Yep, let's do it.
So now the town may have possibly townhomes there eventually.
Not without a conditional
Like
use
a
permit.
little bit of catastrophizing and,
Yeah.
and projecting
yeah.
ahead. I don't know.
And I was talking my next, that's gonna be my next question, would the town be able to look at the
Yes,
and I was like, oh,
we'll have to bid,
Yeah.
whoever. So, is there a,
Second.
after.
So. I've been,
Okay, so motion to adjourn, who did the second? That
I
was
did.
like,
I left my house.
I thought I was gonna get this. When y'all, yeah, I just did.
okay, stop the camps for the recovery.
Though, I love.
Thank you for the write off.
Okay, we're good. I'm good with that.
Well, in the hour drive, it's like I have to.